Hi, how you doing? My name is Mark Connell. I'm with JC Video Systems, and today we'd like to take a few minutes and show you around our studio. This is our showroom that we have here at JC Video, but this is actually a working showroom because a lot of people give lessons here over the winter. So I just want to take a few minutes and show you around what we've done here and see if that information is helpful in a studio that you'd like to build yourself. What I want to start with is we have a nice desk. Our desk is bar height that is also facing, or allows the instructor to face the same direction the student's hitting. That way I can see the student hitting and instantly see the review right there in the screen, okay, as I hit, and then the student is seeing the same thing on a large monitor that is right in front of him. I get plenty of room for storage because we're at 42 inches, plenty of room for the computer, doesn't take up a whole bunch of room. All right, so as I walk out into the studio, you'll notice that we have two screens, okay? And this has been where we've really increased and improved. We have our launch monitor screen and we have our motion analysis screen, okay? So you get the why, you get the what, and how, all right? So as soon as you hit it, okay, you can see this swing's instant replay, and you can see the analytics in the top screen. How far did it go? What was my spin ratio? Is it left? Is it right? The two products work really nice together. And we work with Foresight, we work with FlightScope, we work with TrackMan. Any of them, we can combine the two products. Let's move on to turf, okay? We like a turf that you can stick a tee into right here, okay? So you can stick your tee in here and you can hit right off a regular tee. I hate driving range mats, okay? We come off this turf and we go to a nice rubberized floor. This is what we want to put around the desk. Okay, it makes a nice transition. Okay, it's nice and flat. This is our putting turf. Putting turf has a 3/8 inch pad. Okay, on the back. Okay, so the turf, the hitting turf, and the putting. I'm sorry, not the hitting turf. The rubberized flooring and the putting turf, same height. We put the rubberized flooring around the desk. Works as an anti-static. That way, it discharges. This hitting turf is well known for building up a little bit of static as you walk across it. You don't want to walk over there, touch your electronics, because that's a reboot. All right, so we've got our hitting turf, and what we've done is we put our putting turf in front of the hitting turf. So as the ball hits, we talked about the pad on the back of the hitting turf, or the putting turf. As the ball hits it, it drops down. It doesn't make a sound. Nice and quiet. That turf also works if I want to practice putting. So if I want to sink a couple of holes in my turf, okay, this turf will roll at about 10, 11, even 12 on the stimp meter. So it makes a really nice area to practice. You can practice on your putting. You can actually take the cameras and move those into different positions if you really want to get serious on the putting. But it makes for a nice. It's pretty inexpensive. Putting turf is about the same price as carpet. So I like to see putting turf, anything forward of the mat, we put putting turf, sink a couple holes, makes for a nice combination of products. Okay, so let's go to our padded walls. Don't like to see nets on the sidewall. I like to see pads on the wall because it opens the room up more and you can't really damage it. The best you're going to get or the worst you're going to get is a glancing blow. So we've got a few glancing blows where some of the kids have come in and hit a shot, and it's absolutely done no damage at all. We do paddings on the sidewalls, and we do it on the ceilings as well. So we don't like to put pads on the end wall because that's going to take a little bit more, the ball would come straight back as fast as it left. All right, so we have netting. We have lots of facilities that we do that require the net to be pulled in front. Sometimes if you have an inside-out facility and you want to hit inside, we put a track right here, okay, so that you can pull the netting forwards or back. And we also have, right here, we have an impact panel. We doubled up on this just in case we don't want the ball going through, okay. What we find is the impact panel is a little bit noisy, so what we've been doing is putting in two panels of netting. That way it's nice and quiet and you don't really hear a thing. The track is relatively inexpensive to put in and it really works nicely. So if you have a studio that you need to pull the netting in front of the door, we have a solution for you and it's easy to work out. All right, so let's go ahead and come over here and we'll actually hit a shot and we'll show you how the launch monitor and the motion analysis work together. Okay. I'll try to make enough noise to set that off, and you'll hear. I just smother that over to the left-hand side. Okay. But the computer system automatically is replaying the swing, as you can see, okay, in slow motion. Okay. Okay. And up on top, we've got all the analytics of where it went, how far it traveled. So it's going to repeat 2 times, and then it's going to rearm itself and wait for you to hit it again. So if you're a homeowner or a private individual, it's totally hands-free. I don't have to touch anything. If you're a teaching professional, even better. You don't have to touch anything. You just look up, you draw your lines on the screen, am I over the line, am I under the line? Once you've established what you're working on, everything happens automatically. Okay? So I just stand up, and I'm just going to hit it. So, once again, I actually probably hit the green there. Once again, just ease of use. All right, so the cameras, as you can see, if you've noticed, these cameras are actually black and white. Okay? I like black and white cameras because they give you a higher shutter speed with the same amount of light, better image quality for what you get. We put our cameras on sliding mounts. Okay? Not a requirement. We just did it because, you know, this is our showroom. We want to be able to move back and forth just a little bit and not be pinned down to one area. But if you're a private homeowner, you probably don't need the sliding mounts because you're going to hit from the same spot all the time once that spot's established. Takes 3 pixels to make a picture with a color camera, red, green, blue. Monochrome takes 1. The difference is about 30%, 20 to 30% better image quality with a black and white camera as a color camera. However, I would never recommend black and white if you're seeing outside. So if you're hitting from inside to out, always going to recommend a color camera. All right. Let's see here. What we didn't talk about yet, lights. 3 ingredients to making a good studio. Light, light, and light, okay? So if you pan up, go ahead and pan up and look at our lights, what we have here. We have 8 banks of T5 lights. I'm happy to give you our source and talk to you about all the lights that you need. You really have to have good lighting. We like this type of lighting because it's bright, it burns cool, and it's not like the spotlights that you used to see in other people's studios from years ago. Much nicer to work under. We stack a bunch of lights up there so that we get the volume of light. You need a lot of light to enable the shutter speed on the camera so that you can see crystal clear in the replay, okay, when you frame advance it, okay? Motion blur is eliminated by shutter speed. Shutter speed is enabled by a lot of light, okay? So if you don't have light, you can't have shutter speed. If you don't have shutter speed, you're going to get motion blur. All right, so now we've got that established. We need to talk about what you need to do to build your studio. All right, we need to determine where you're going to hit from and where you're going to review from. That determines where your cameras are going to be. So this camera right here has got a conduit that runs from this camera to my desk. If I had an overhead camera, I would need a conduit from that location to the desk. If I had a left-hand camera, I would need a conduit from that location to the desk. Same thing with a target line camera. So I need communication conduit, 3/4 inch is fine, from each camera location to the desk. I also need power and communication from the monitors to the desk. So it's really important. Where are you going to review? Where are you going to hit from? Those 2 positions establish all the conduit that you're going to have. So we recommend putting in conduit in case the technology changes. You want to put in different cables. Your contractor will probably whine about it, but you know what? Who cares? It's cheap, and it gives you a ton of flexibility moving forward. So conduit from those locations will help you immensely. We got the right flooring, we got netting, we got lighting, we got pads on the wall. Once you're established where you're going to be, I mean, it's really important that you don't scrimp on your budget at the end of the project. You're building the entire room so that you can see the image crystal clear, frame by frame. So let's get the lights and the electronics, and let's put those in the budget so that when you get to the end, you got a little room so that, you know, maybe if you want to put in a left-hand camera or an overhead camera, you have room left instead of cutting back and removing things. If you need any help whatsoever, we're happy to help. Work directly with your architect. Your architect, once he understands the why of what we're doing, it kind of puts the whole project in perspective for him, because they usually don't know. You go to your architect and he's saying, you know, we're going to build a box, okay? So it's really important that he knows what function that's going to have. I will help you with that function. He will get it to your contractor. I'll work with your contractor and your architect to make the best of both worlds and for you to have a successful learning center, performance center that's going to give you a lot of benefit and enjoyment for your members. Call me if I can help you.